too. All right, gonna make a good solid show today. A lot of football. If you're thinking there's gonna be a lot of basketball, there will be. Tomorrow we're having our senior basketball analyst come in for the first time, and we're gonna talk a lot of basketball tomorrow. But today we're just gonna touch on it. The Magic won, and quick answer: do the Cavaliers have a chance to win?
No. Obviously they have that chance. They're a great basketball team. LeBron James is a great basketball player, but in reality, they're gonna lose this series. They're just not stepping it up enough. Obviously, LeBron is playing phenomenally.
Yeah.
The Cavaliers are not playing well as a team, though.
Yeah, it's just too hard to come back from 3-1 deficit. But
No.
big basketball show tomorrow. We're gonna talk a lot about it. All right. Moving on, Brady practiced for the first time. This hardly qualifies as news. We're only mentioning it for the Patriots fans because we're going to piss a lot of you guys off with the power ranking. So we did talk about Brady. We did our Brady fill. Okay.
All right.
They're going to email us a lot. All right. Jonathan Lynch, there's a fight between ESPN and NFL Network of who gets Jonathan Lynch's announcer, and Fox came out of nowhere and took him.
Yeah.
Once again,
snagged him up.
kind of slow news day. So
Yeah.
there you
It's
go.
all right. It's all right. He's a good, great guy, great player.
Great player, certainly Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
All right, talking about the power rankings. Oh, quick baseball note. Yesterday we talked about Poppy might be moved down. He was moved down to 6 in the lineup, so we were right. Speaking of good calls that deserve high five, we drafted Michael Turner today in our fantasy league. We are thrilled about that. We had a late pick too. We picked second to last when we got Turner, so
Yeah. And it's a keeper league, so
we have him
we have him forever.
ever till the end of time.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah. All right, now we're gonna we're trying to get done our top
NFL power rankings.
our NFL power rank. We're very proud of these. They're going to be constantly updated. We want to get actually 2 sets and have,
Both bars, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get them up there.
We'll get everybody to do one.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
have like
why
5.
Why not?
We're working hard on these, but right now they're a little blank. But give us some time. We're working on the writing. Starting off, we're gonna do top 10. We're gonna bust this out pretty quick here. Just a few things on each team. First, Steelers. If you disagree with this, 22 starters. They only lost 2. They kept 20 guys of their core nucleus together of
Yeah.
a Super Bowl winning team. No way you can't put them as number 1.
Yeah, they lost they didn't lose any key guys.
Backup cornerback, backup receiver,
Yeah, not
third receiver.
They're a great team, and they kept all the great players. So
Yeah.
definitely the number 1 team in our power rankings.
Yeah,
both of ours.
Eagles number 2. Obviously, draft made some good draft acquisitions.
Yeah.
And
Picked up great guys. Jeremy Maclin go alongside Deshaun Jackson there, another great guy for Donovan to throw to. He's getting older, so
he needs, he's not as mobile anymore, so he needs a good offensive line. And they went out and picked up 2 great offensive linemen who should, they had a good I thought they had a pretty good offensive line last year. Now they just bolstered it, so it's going to be even easier for Donovan to hit these guys. And
Yeah.
Jeremy Maclin turns out like Deshaun did. They'll be, no pun intended, flying high.
yeah. Obviously he's less mobile. Give him some more targets and give him some more time in the pocket. He is a good quarterback.
Yep. LaShawn McCoy too is a guy who might be doing pretty well. You might fantasy guys if you got a deep team, a lot of bench spots, could pick him up in a sleeper. He might get plenty of passing yards out of the running back spot.
Yeah.
All right, Minnesota Vikings. They're pretty high here, and for a team that doesn't really have a solid quarterback, and this is pre Brett Favre. This may change if Brett Favre comes to the team, and it'll definitely change when Kyle gets his because he does not agree with this, but. They got a great defense. People forget they were the number 1 rushing defense. And granted, that's because Pittsburgh benched their players in the last week. But even the number 2 rushing defense is still pretty solid. They kept that unit together. Obviously, number 1 rushing attack probably going to be, have the same effect. And I think Sage Rosenfeld will play better than Travaris Jackson did last year.
Yeah, no, I think that is an improvement. Obviously, Adrian Peterson is going to help out in any way possible. And a great defense. They are a great team. They're very competitive. I don't have them at number 3, though.
Yeah, we'll see. You'll see Cal's rankings coming over the next 1 or 2 weeks here when we get this sorted out. Our next Falcons, another team. We got 3 teams in a row here. I don't know if Cal's going to think is a little too high. Falcons, though, great team. Michael Turner, people forget we got 1,700 yards. Clearly, a lot of people did in our fantasy league.
Yeah.
But, Matt Ryan, I think, is just going to have a great improvement. I think Michael Turner is going to pretty much do somewhere around the same between 1,500 and 2,000 yards, maybe over.
Yeah.
But Matt Ryan's he's just going to improve as the running game improves and the line improves. And the defense is going to improve, too. They added some good defensive tackle depth. Pariah Jerry and some other good draft picks, so.
Yeah, they're just too hard to play defense against. They got, Roddy White, great receiver, and obviously they added Tony Gonzalez in the offseason, another great receiving target for Matt Ryan.
That could be the trade of the year right now.
And then Michael Turner to pound the ball up front. It's just too much.
It's hard to cover everything.
I actually agree with this pick. I would put him at number 4. I
all
think
right.
They're a great team.
All right. Buffalo Bills. Quit playing footsie with me, Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
I think the camera. I know the camera can't see, but come The Buffalo Bills, a lot of people are going to think this is way too high, especially in this division. But you know what? Trent Edwards is a great quarterback, and he's going to be. He has some injury problems, but they started out 5-1, and they added T.O. And you can say whatever you want about T.O. destroying teams. He doesn't do it in the first year.
Yeah, it's true.
All right,
first year is usually solid. He's a great receiver the first year.
He's going to get 10 touchdowns, somewhere around 900 yards.
I think he can easily get over 1,000 yards.
Easily. Lee Evans probably get pretty close to that too. He's a great receiver, and then if they keep, there's talks about Roscoe Parrish getting traded to Pittsburgh. We'll see what happens there. The Pittsburgh added receivers, and who knows? But Roscoe Parrish in the slot, his speed could be dominant.
Yeah. Obviously great receiving core, maybe the best in the league. And then Trent Edwards, I think he will become a better quarterback than he was last year, and not have that big drop off yet at the end of the season.
I agree completely. All right, the Colts. Now, the Colts, I might move these down a little bit with the recent developments. We've stated how we think the Colts are going to be fine without the coaching transition, but it looks like Peyton has some problems with it, which I did not expect. And the thing that stands out to me is he rarely talks to the media like this. Yeah. So he must be pretty upset to say something to the media about, these two guys. If you don't know, the offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach were both, it seems like they were kind of forced into retirement. So, Peyton's a little upset about that. He says there's no communication, so he's a little upset. But how much do you think this will actually affect the play on the field?
I think Peyton is really the leader of that team, and when it comes down to, I think he's doing what he thinks is best to sort all these problems out before the season starts, and maybe it just wasn't getting heard in the locker room, and so he had to go to the media, or at least he felt he had to go to the media to get the problem solved, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to be fixed.
It should be fixed. Peyton will be the leader. They're not going to question that, but we'll see how it goes. It works out. But obviously, Tony Dungy, a terrific coach, is obviously going to be a little bit of a loss to any team.
Yeah.
All right, next the Giants. So, the Giants might be a little high here. They kept a lot of their core thing, but they got a big Plaxico Burress-sized hole, which we saw their play. They couldn't get it done in the playoffs without him near the end of the season, and I don't like replacing with Hakeem Nicks. I would like them to go out and get Braylon Edwards, get Anquan Bolden, and they didn't do it. They kind of disappointed me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't typically see rookie receivers really step it up to that next level. So picking up a guy who was already at that level would have been great for him, I think. And they got a solid team, or a great team around him. But you can really tell Eli needs that guy to go to.
He does. Even this year, more they lost. Brandon Jacobs is still there, but I believe they did lose a portion of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I think part of it's also might be going through some suspension arrest thing. So we'll see. But obviously, if your running game goes down, you're going to need more passing game. So. Yeah. The Dolphins, not much to say about the Dolphins. Just great defense, and it's gonna stay just as good. Jason Taylor's gonna do nothing but help them. Yeah. Chad Pennington, you said, is really consistent quarterback. Pat White's not gonna be the starter. Come on, Dolphins fans, get over that right now.
Bill Parcells isn't a big fan of starting rookie quarterbacks. Probably won't continue here. Obviously you're gonna go Chad Pennington. He's not a guy who wins games by himself, but he's a guy who does enough.
He's a guy who wins games with Ronnie Brown, Ricky Williams in that defense.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do much, and he doesn't make big mistakes, and he is a good quarterback, a really solid quarterback, and he's always there for his team.
So next the Texans, they're up obviously probably a lot higher than most people expect to see them, but if there's any time they're going to win this division, they got a good solid team. They need a franchise quarterback, but they got Andre Johnson, who makes any quarterback look like a franchise quarterback, and Steve Slayton, who I think is going to have a real breakout year. And the Titans lost Hainsworth, the Colts lost Dungy. If they're ever going to win it, I think it's going to be this year, so I'm taking a risk on them and putting them pretty high.
Yeah, there is some lapses in the other teams in their division, so maybe they do have a chance this year. I actually agree with this one.
Oh, okay, all right. So, and obviously their defense, Mario Williams, I think is just going to keep stepping up.
Their defense is great.
Our last team will end on 10 here. We'll do 10 at a time. And then, so the San Francisco 49ers are 10. A lot of people are going to be saying this is way too high. And once again, you guys can find the email. It'll be on the bottom or something to complain to us. You know what? I like this team's defense. I like the team's offense.
They really, really improved with Singletary coming in last year. They became a really competitive team. Unfortunately, it was a little too late, but they did compete, and I think they'll just get better. They added a lot of great draft picks this year, and they have a lot of talent in their team.
They really do. I mean, it's a talented team. It's just going to be, can they play in this division? And in this division, I think so.
Yes, it's not a good division.
All right, that'll about do it for us. Big basketball show tomorrow, so we'll get another one quick. We'll get this up tonight. The basketball show should be up by the time you guys see this, so tune in tomorrow. And be sure to check the Lakers-Denver game. Should be a good one. Look for the winner of this game. Will probably win the series, so it's an important one. All right, that'll do it for us. That felt like it was under 10 minutes.
It was.